Everything you do twice. You first decide to do it, that's doing it once, and then you actually physically do it. So you can never say, oh, it just happened to me. Nothing just happens to you. You can choose to focus on the negative or focus on the positive. And then whatever you focus on is what expands. And I hate it so much. It is called the reticulate activating system. And so an example of that is I bought a new truck and I bought a ZR2, like a 2500 HD ZR2. Like it's supposed to be super rare. There's two in Medford. And I'm like, how is this rare if there's two? One, he's always driving up and down Vilas. Like identical, all blacked out with the AEV package, which is like the off-market or the whatever off-road bumpers, aftermarket bumpers and skid plates. So we're playing in my front yard on Sunday. It was like kind of oddly nice. And then Blakely like starts to kind of dart towards the road and this truck like, residential. So he just stopped, just make sure he didn't hit a kid. And I'm like, oh, it's another one. Oh, but I would never think about that except for the fact that I thought I had something no one else had. And then I find out that I don't know. I see them everywhere, right? Because what you focus on expands. Now, how many Ford Explorers, Toyota Tundras have I driven by? Freaking way more. Did I notice them? No. So you have to be super careful at what you're thinking about. You've got to protect your mind because it is unbelievable if you're like real estate sucks, no one wants to buy. That's what you're going to get. And if you think real estate's great and it's a great time to buy, dude, that's what you're going to get. It is bizarre. Like you literally control your destiny with your thoughts. Everything you do twice. You first decide to do it, that's doing it once, and then you actually physically do it. Right? Before you stomp the gas pedal and start drifting, you decided to do it. So you did it twice. So you can never say, oh, it just happened to me. Nothing just happens to you. So keep that in mind. Like if Armin's like, I'm too young for this, no one's going to want to work with me because I'm young, that's what you're going to get. But if you're like, yo, I'm young, I'm going to show these fools that I am available. I'm here for the long haul. I don't want to sell you the first house we see. I want to sell you the right house. And they go, oh, plus I'm dressed nice, right? So the right tale of two. Oh, I'm too young. You're right. Yeah, you know what's great about me being young? Energy, availability, long haul, and focused on you. Plus, I work with a badass team that's got your back on whatever you need, whether or not I'm available. How does that sound? That's different. Then, you're right, dude, I am young. And so you got to turn it. What that means for you is, and that'd be nice, like, hey, young man, I have real estate agents call me all the time. Hey, young man. I'm like, no, I'm almost 40. I'm in the part where young people think I'm old and old people think I'm young. Like it's just like mid 30s, because I'm like, right, you think I'm old, right? 39. I'm like, ew. What stopped working? Do I have to wear diapers at night? The nice thing about being young is energy. So these old guys, they're old, right? I'm not old, they're old. Like, oh, how do you have the energy? I couldn't keep up with you. It's like, perfect. That's what you got. No kids, right? No wife, just rocking. Like I've got children, other businesses. I've got to do pickup and drop off for school. I have all these other things. I can't do what you can do, right? I've got the knowledge so I can teach you guys. And then you go forth and multiply, right? Show you the techniques, the methods, the mindset for you to do it because I can't. So that guy that wants to work with me, I don't have time. I can't go show properties all weekends. We got soccer games. We got family events. So use that to your advantage. Flip it. You got to flip the script every time. There's other things you need to be doing to build your skill set, right? Armin does all the calls. He gets a buyer. The guy says, hey, this is what I'm looking for. It's very specific. What if it exists, but Armin doesn't know how to find it? Now we got a problem, right? Good example yesterday. Okay, I've Kaiser's been for sale for a year. It is a triple net. What do you call that? Completely hands-off property. Not just triple net, absolute net. It's an absolute net property. So I own land in a building that Black Rock Coffee Bar rents from me. They pay the taxes. They make all of the repairs. They insure it. They don't call me. It is truly mailbox money. They direct deposit rent into my account every month. Absolute net property. Problem is, to me, I don't like the risk. So the risk is very specific, right? We have a 1/4 acre lot on a busy road. This is River Road here. We got Dietz, right? We got an Arby's over here and another coffee shop over here. So busy road, high visibility, great. But we have a 324 square foot kiosk. We've got parking. We got a trash enclosure. We have a walk-up window here and then the drive-through. It's niche. What if, no, I don't think they will, but what if BlackRock decides they don't want to renew their lease in 6 years? What do I do with this? Well, I've got to find another drive-through to come in. But the problem is we own this thing outright. We have no debt on it. But the other guy that is a partner with me in this deal went through a divorce, and we had to pull equity out of it for him to pay the ex-wife off. So now we owe $600K on this thing. So the payment's like $4,000 a month, and we get like $6,000 a month. Okay. But what I don't want is, with commercial stuff, something like this could sit vacant for years. Okay. And I don't want $50K a year plus taxes and insurance. So probably more like 65. I don't want 65,000 a year coming out when I'm only making $2,000 a month. Right. So if I have 1 year vacancy, it just wiped out 32 months of profit, 3 years. So if it's vacant for a year, I've lost money the entire time I've owned this thing now. If I was to take $2,000 a month or $1,500 a month, whatever it makes off, it's too risky, right? So, but also we own this. We operate a BlackRock coffee bar. So we depreciated our assets to zero. So our cost basis in this is $200,000, which is what we paid for the land. So if I sell it for $1 million, my cost basis is $200,000. $800,000 is taxable, like a 35%, 40% rate. I would owe $280,000 in taxes when I sell this. So we basically, and it's going to sell probably for $9 million. So we sell this, we'll pay off a loan. We'll end up with $300,000 after that. Sell for $9 million, pay off $6 million, right? There's $3 million left. I'd pay $280,000 to the government. It's a partnership. So after taxes, we each walk over $10,000 on $1 million property. Is that good or bad? So I'm like, hey, bro, I've gotten some serious action on this thing. I got questions. I got a guy saying he's going to write an offer. Another guy threatening to write an offer. They're meeting on Thursday. We might have a deal. I've already talked to my accountant. We're going to trade an asset for a tax bill if we do this, unless we 1031. And he's like, well, what's out there to buy? And lo and behold, Daddy has the MLS. So what's available today? You think it's fair to say that I need to know what's available? Probably be a good idea to, if I'm selling cars, maybe I walk the lot. Okay, we got 6 F-150s, 2 Ford Rangers, a couple Lincoln Navigators. I've got a couple Subarus, tiny turbos. Okay, I got a motorcycle. Now, someone comes in and says, hey, I'm looking for F-150s. Fantastic, sir. We have 6 of them. We got the platinum version that's got the massaging seats, a little bit longer bed. We got the XLT that's got cloth seats, but it's fully loaded. Otherwise, it actually has a pretty big engine tow package, larger fuel tank for those long hauls. What are you looking for? Oh man, this guy's good. But how much? I've gone to a lot of car lots. You got any F-150s? Oh, let me look. I'm like, you don't know? What's your job? What do you do all day? What do you do all day? You got here at 8, it's 10. You've been here for 2 hours. What the fuck you been doing? You don't know what's in the lot? Like, it's not hard. Go look, right? Let's say I've got a guy that wants 1 to 5 acres north of Central Point, under 500,000. So I do a search, right? And I input all this, minimum of 2 bathrooms, minimum of 2 bedrooms, no more than, 2,500 square feet. So I do all this and boom, I pop up 10 matches. I need to save that search under the person's name that I was just working with, so I don't have to do it again tomorrow. And you'll find good deals. And what do you do? Oh, that's a great deal. What do you write it down on a piece of paper? And then you're like, man, Andre, I found a great deal earlier today. Shit. And it's gone. right? Did that ever happen? So as I'm looking around, I go to my listing collections. I have one that's called Good Buys. What a concept. Hey, Adam, any good deals out there? Well, I have a little collection of things that I think are good buys. Would that be smart? Would that be something you could do? And then also maybe these ones that expired that were good buys. If I was looking for business, I could call them because I thought it was a great deal and be curious about why it didn't sell and maybe take a shot at listing it. So then we can, I always like to sort either by status or price. Let's sort by status, right? I can also look and see, okay, it was a good buy. Here's what it was listed for. Here's what it was sold for. That's good data too. Interesting. They took 200,000 less on that. I wonder what happened. Call the agent. Hey, what's going on with that? Oh, dude, the septic system failed. The roof leaks back. Oh, okay. So we've got 9 good buys. And so I'm talking to my business partner who's like, yo, what are we going to do if we get an offer? And I'm like, well, we got some options. Do we have some options? Yeah. Because I saved it in good buys. I've been trying to do a search and find a bunch of good deals while I'm on the phone with my business partner. I'm ready. Investor calls me today. Hey, man, any good buys out there? I'm ready. Make sense? Ready. Be ready. But if you're drifting in the parking lot instead of doing MLS searches and knowing what's available today, you're not ready. You're inexperienced. You're too young. I'm going to find someone else. And a lot of times this is what experience looks like, right? I got watches for sale, right? Ooh, start to buy much. How about cigars, cocaine? I'm talking about you're in Mexico. It's like, yo, hey, I don't want drugs. What? How about a bracelet, Pat? Concert tickets? So they're ready. They're ready to sell you whatever you need. The reason buyers are buying at the rate right now is a house costs 40% more today than it did in February of 2021 on a monthly basis. You would think if interest rates shot up, that property values would shoot down. They didn't, right? Property values, I mean, maybe a little bit, 5%, kind of depending on, it was really people that bought in like the end of 2020 and the first half of 2021, like our poor clients. There's 2 weeks, there was 2 weeks of inventory. What that means is, you got to memorize this, everything for sale, assuming no other new listings hit the market, will be gone in 2 weeks. Hey, there's 6 months of inventory. What that means is if no new listings hit the market, it would take 6 months for current buyer demand to get through our current inventory. That means, Mr. Seller, we got to be priced aggressively, and aggressively is lower and more attractive than everybody else if we want a chance at selling. Now, Mr. Seller, when there's 2 weeks of inventory, that means things sell fast. We could probably ask a little bit more, assuming your house is in good shape, because there are more buyers than sellers and you have the upper hand. When there's lots of inventory, there's more sellers than buyers, okay, and the buyers have the upper hand. So we've had not a ton of inventory, so not a bunch of choices for our buyers. Can you guys agree with that? And the monthly cost is pretty high. And consumer confidence is kind of not great. So not confident about my job, not confident about the market, and it's more expensive to buy than to rent. So like, what's it hurt? I mean, Isaiah, I want to buy, but I mean, my rent's $2,500 and the mortgage would be $3,800. I mean, am I crazy for wanting to wait for rates to come down a little bit so I could actually afford the damn thing? That's what a lot of people are saying. So what we've seen is inelasticity in the market. Rates shoot up, which should be an inverse relationship. Rates up, prices down, right? That didn't happen. Now rates went up and demand went down. That was an inverse. What would happen if rates were at 3% tomorrow? We'd go from 4 months of inventory to 2 weeks real fast. Everything would fucking say, holy shit, because the cost dropped by 40% on a monthly basis for these buyers. But what's going to happen is, so this is your rate and this is demand. If rates fall, we know demand will increase. And if demand increases without an increase in supply, prices will increase. So again, we got rate, we got demand, and then we'll leave demand on this side, and then we have price. So if I wait for lower rate, by the time the rate's lower, the cost of that house is going to shoot up, right? Because now we know that the fundamentals of the real estate market are pretty strong. Everyone that owns a house they bought in 2021 or before is much less expensive to own that house than it would be to rent the same house. So there's no motivation for you to stop making payments. You're economically better off making your mortgage than you would be renting that house from a landlord, right? So I don't need to sell. I don't want to sell if I can't get my price. Now, here's what I'm seeing though. I'm seeing you guys are saying you're going to do Diddle V, which is day in the life of brevity, but you're not doing it because your scorecards are going down. So don't say you're going to do it and then not do it. It's a waste of time, energy, the whole fucking thing. I'm going to find the YouTube I watched the other day and I'm going to send it to you guys. And it was about effectiveness. It was on one side, this person goes to the library for 4 hours a day. But when you really broke it down, they did about 15 minutes of studying during the 4 hours at the library. Sound familiar? You were at the office all day. Somehow it took you 8 hours to make 10 contacts. Yeah. Took me till 4 o'clock yesterday to get my damn updates done. Because I was doing everything except for the one thing I was supposed to do. Call through the whiteboard. I'm guilty of it. So it's not like it's it. It happens to me, it happens to you.